Hi dear students, today I am going to discuss with you about two things, two prepositions. They are between and among. What's the difference between between and among, and where do you use between and among? So let me clear you by writing explain about between and among. Between and among, these are prepositions, and these are used when we talk about the thing is middle of things, middle of two things, middle of number of things. When we talk about that, we use between and among. Between and among both are used to say the thing is middle, the thing is amidst. That time we use between and among. So when we use between, when we talk about the between two things, between two persons, two places, two objects, that time we use between. Between two things or places and person, whatever. When we talk about the between two persons, places, things and object, that time we use between. But when we talk about more than three persons, I mean just the more than three persons, place, things, objects, that time we use among. More than two persons, places, things or objects, that time we use among. So let me clear you by writing some example. You can clearly understand when I write some example on the board. When we use between, when we talk about that thing is amidst between two things, only two things, that time we use between. For example, I am sitting between my parents. See, I'm sitting between my parents. Between, it's middle. I'm sitting between my parents. For example, here is father, here is mother. So middle, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. This side is father, this side is mother. Two persons are this side one person and this side one person. That time we use between. Another example, the fight had happened. The fight had happened between India and Pakistan. The fight had happened in India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan, fight is happened. That time we use between two things, India and Pakistan, two things, between two countries the fight has happened. Another things, the property has shared between two brothers. The property has shared between two brothers, Rama and Lakshmana. These are two brothers. The property is shared between Rama and Lakshmana. That time we use between. Another example I want to write, you can clear when to use between. She is standing. She is standing between. She is standing between couple. She is standing between couple. Here is husband, here is wife. She is standing here. So this side has husband, this side spouse. His spouse is this side and husband is this side. and she is standing here, she is between couples, that time you use between. So when we use between, the thing is between two persons, two places, two things, two objects, that time we use between. But among is different. When we use among, when we talk about the amidst or middle, more than three persons, more than three places, more than three things, three objects, that time we can use among. For example, you can clear by when I write some examples on the board. So pay attention to me for some time. For example, COVID-19 spread. The COVID-19 spread among the countries. Among the countries. COVID-19, this is a disease spread. The COVID-19 pandemic spread among the countries. The countries is more than three. The COVID-19 already spread among more than 200 countries. That's why I'm using among. So when we use among, there is the thing is more than two places, two things. Another example, the property has shared. The property has shared among the brothers. Among the brothers. The property has shared among the brothers. Means here is brothers more than three members, more than two members. That time we use among. Another example, I am standing among my students. I am standing among my students. Among my students. The students are innumerable members. Number of students standing around me, that time we use among. Another example, my house is among the trees. My house is among the trees. So where is my house? My house is located among the trees. There are number of trees around my house. That time we use among. So when we use between, there are only two persons, place, things. Between two persons, places, things, objects. When we talk about the middle of the midst of the two persons, places, things and objects, that time we use between. And when we talk about more than three persons, middle of more than three persons, more than two persons, places, things, objects, that time we use among. So this is the difference between the words between and among. I hope you have understood what's the difference between the words between and among, and you are able to write among and between to using sentences, and you are able to use among and between in your spoken English. Thank you very much.